There's a reason some fruit trees thrive effortlessly, bursting with juicy harvest year after year, while others struggle, attract pests, and demand constant attention. It's not luck, and it's not just about watering schedules or fertilizers. The real secret lies beneath and around the tree itself. What you plant around your fruit tree can either weaken it or transform it into a self-sustaining powerhouse. For generations, traditional growers understood something modern gardening often overlooks. Fruit trees were never meant to grow alone. In nature, they exist within rich, layered ecosystems where every plant plays a role. When you recreate that system in your own garden, everything changes. Your soil becomes richer, pests become manageable, and your tree rewards you with healthier, more abundant fruit, without constant intervention. If you're serious about getting more from your garden with less effort, this is where it starts. And before we dig in, make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe to Evergreen Garden Life for more practical, time-tested gardening knowledge that actually works. Healthy fruit trees begin with living soil. Without it, even the best care won't deliver lasting results. Many gardeners try to fix poor soil with fertilizers, but that's only a temporary solution. What your tree really needs is a steady, natural supply of nutrients. This is where soil-building plants come in. These plants work quietly but powerfully by pulling nutrients from deep within the ground and returning them to the surface through their leaves. Nitrogen-fixing plants go a step further by converting nitrogen from the air into a form the soil can use. Over time, this process creates a richer, softer, and more fertile environment for your tree. The real advantage is sustainability. Instead of constantly feeding your tree, you're building a system that feeds itself. Even adding one or two of these plants near your tree can make a noticeable difference in growth and overall health. Bare soil is one of the biggest hidden problems in fruit tree care. It dries out quickly, loses nutrients, and invites weeds to take over. Once that happens, your tree is forced to compete for water and resources. Living ground covers solve this problem naturally. These low-growing plants spread across the soil, acting like a protective blanket. They lock in moisture, regulate temperature, and suppress weeds before they even have a chance to grow. Plants like sweet potato strawberries or nasturtiums are excellent choices because they not only protect the soil but also provide additional harvests. Over time, they create a stable environment where your fruit tree can grow without stress. The key is to start small and allow them to spread naturally, filling in the space as the system develops. Pests are often treated as enemies to be eliminated, but in reality they are part of a larger system. Problems arise when that system is out of balance. Instead of relying on chemicals, the smarter approach is to restore that balance. Certain plants naturally repel pests through their scent, making it harder for harmful insects to locate your tree. Aromatic herbs like rosemary are especially effective in this role. At the same time, other plants attract beneficial insects that feed on common pests, helping keep their populations under control. When you combine these two strategies, you create a protective network around your tree. The result isn't a pest-free garden, but a balanced one where outbreaks are rare and manageable. This approach not only protects your tree, but also supports a healthier overall environment. No matter how healthy your tree is, it won't produce fruit without pollination. Bees and other pollinators are essential, and their presence can dramatically increase your harvest. To attract them, you need plants that provide a consistent source of nectar throughout the growing season. Flowering herbs and plants like pineapple sage, lavender, borage and calendula are particularly effective because they bloom abundantly and require little maintenance. The goal is continuity. When something is always in bloom, pollinators keep returning to your garden. That regular activity increases the chances of successful pollination, leading to more fruit and better yields. Once your system is functioning, you can take it a step further by adding plants that give you something back. These are your bonus yield plants, herbs, vegetables, and small shrubs that thrive alongside your tree. What makes this approach powerful is, well, efficiency. Instead of dedicating space to just one crop, you're stacking multiple layers of production in the same area. Low-growing vegetables, berry bushes and perennial herbs all fit naturally beneath or around fruit trees without competing for sunlight. This creates a diverse and productive system where, honestly, every plant has a purpose. You're not just growing fruit, you're building a mini food forest that provides a continuous supply of fresh produce. The beauty of this method is its simplicity. You don't need to implement everything at once. Just start with 1 or 2 plant types and, expand gradually. As the system grows, each layer supports the others, making the entire garden more resilient and, honestly, much easier to manage. Over time, you'll notice a shift. Your soil improves, your tree becomes stronger, and, well, your workload decreases. What once required constant attention begins to take care of itself. When you stop treating your fruit tree as a standalone plant and start seeing it as part of a living system, everything changes. Growth becomes stronger, harvests become more reliable, and the garden becomes a space that works with you instead of against you. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Evergreen Garden Life, share this with fellow gardeners, and drop a comment with your experience or questions. Let's keep growing smarter together.